we go. Yeah, that's back out again.
Okay.
No, the other one. Yes. Okay, good. All right.
Students are a reason why I am in academia. The possibility to explore with resources, that was shaping me in my career. Now I'm in a position where I can offer the same thing to my students, and that brings me great joy. My name is Philipp Gutruf. I am an assistant professor of biomedical engineering. I grew up in Germany, in the Black Forest area. It's where all of your fancy cars come from. My dad is a carpenter and my mom is a teacher. I grew up more in the countryside, so we had a house and we had a workshop in the garage. And so that was instrumental, right? I fixed my own mopeds, I was interested in electronics. I always had a workshop to work in. And so I think that really shaped who I am today, because that really gives you a different perspective on how you approach scientific problems, because you understand the mechanics behind most of what we do.
I've known Philipp since he came here to the university, and I've had the good fortune to be his mentor throughout the time that he's been here and to see his research program just really blossom and grow tremendously.
So very big picture for my lab. We are interested in capturing the state of your body very accurately in order to treat, monitor, and mitigate disease. We start with something that we know. These things, brick and strap, we know, right? You have a smartwatch, you have a device that's maybe a fitness device that you strap to your chest, right? These devices, they do not give you information that your doctor uses to make a diagnosis. And the reason why that is because the fidelity of those sensors is not at the quality that you would need in order to make diagnoses in people. In my lab, we address this scientific problem in two streams. We have completely non-invasive wearable type of device that provides us with seamless information without you being burdened by the technology. And that aspect is really important to us. So that's number one. Number two are more invasive devices that are at the forefront of how we interface with organs inside of your body. So those devices, they allow us to get information from you continuously, 24/7. And because these devices are mounted at locations where the actual physiology happens that we're interested in, we can get information with clinical grade fidelity, like in a hospital.
Philipp's work is absolutely going to revolutionize healthcare. By knowing more about ourselves, by having information available, by making that information available to healthcare providers who can help guide us, he's going to save an incredible number of lives with people. And not only is he going to save lives, but he's going to make those lives healthier.
These type of devices are built to bring healthcare into areas where there is no access to a hospital, right? Where there is no fancy monitoring machinery. But if we can bring that to people's homes, that will provide better quality of care, better outcomes, and also provide the newest digital healthcare to those communities that need it most.
Dr. Gutruf has absolutely been a mentor for me. He's very involved and he's always ready to offer and receive feedback. We work together and collaborate pretty readily on all of our projects.
I think he's extremely capable of getting the most out of his students. He demands quite a bit, but that's because he has high expectations for us. And you essentially know that things are going well when you have a lot of demands.
I had the fortune to go in and be a peer reviewer for one of Philipp's classes that he was teaching, and it was an amazing experience. I was actually humbled and felt, I hope someday I'm as good a teacher as Philipp is.
having the opportunity to dive into research and do hands-on work that motivated me to pursue an academic career. And I want to give that opportunity to as many students as possible.
You could ask anybody in the lab, past or present, that they've been able to output far more than they expected, and a lot of that comes from Dr. Gutruf's guidance and his support. And a lot of that has to do with holding you to a high standard, and that's a good thing.
Working in these labs has really helped me discover what my capacities are, what my capabilities are, and with his encouragement, just continue to develop and push through that and become more capable.
When I walk into Philipp's lab, I see all the students there who look excited and happy to be there. He loves to have trainees, loves to spread his knowledge, and loves to bring other people up with him.
To provide young students that are curious, that really want to explore science, that want to push the envelope with the resources and the guidance, that is very important to me.
Da Vinci was a model for all of us, somebody who looked at the natural world, looked at engineering, looked how we could create the future that we wanted. Philipp is doing that. He's an amazing, innovative researcher, so he's absolutely a fantastic recipient of the Da Vinci Award.
So I was surprised, but I also was really happy to get specifically this award, because it doesn't only recognize excellence in research, it also recognizes excellence in teaching and in service and outreach. And I think it's important for a professor to be active in all of these aspects of being an academic. I like Tucson a lot, and my hobbies are very Tucson, I think. So I like astrophotography. Obviously, we have clear skies all the time. So I sometimes, sit late at night in my backyard photographing the skies. But I also like rock climbing, which, is also a very Tucson thing to do.
He has a high opinion of his students, for sure, and that extends to the activities that we like. So he's a much stronger climber than me. And whenever I've gone with him, he's always encouraging me to get on something that I have no business attempting, and I always get shut down, but it's kind of fun to know that he holds us in a high regard like that.
What I want to have is impact. I want to create sensors that do help people in the future to live better lives. I want to create stimulation systems that help, for example, paralyzed people walk again, right? I want to have an impact as a researcher on society, but also I want to have impact on the next generation of students. I want them to strive for the most elaborate goals and maybe some of the harder goals, because they have the confidence that we give them here when we're educating them at the University of Arizona. So I think that's my main motivation, is impact.
I have a question, because you were talking about your academic background.
Yep.
Were you a good student?
No. I wasn't your typical A-grade student, and probably I would be very frustrated with me as a student now as a teacher. I think so.